Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bumpkin News. Those of you that have viewed these videos that I've uploaded, you know that I'm a conservative. I'm not a Republican because the Republican Party is not synonymous with conservatism, and I'm not a Democrat because the Democratic Party has left conservatism and has gone completely to some other area that I really don't have any political affiliation with. I don't seek any office. I don't make any money. I just give my conservative view, which is as much as possible for me is unbiased. And as a conservative, I believe in the Constitution. I believe in freedom, and I think that people should be educated, and that's one of the biggest problems we have in the country is ignorance and the lack of understanding about the institutions of our government and the way it's constituted. Now, today we want to look at the question it's a kind of a hot topic right now about the proposal to build a mosque at the site of 9/11 Twin Trade Towers, Ground Zero. Should this be done? Right here, if you're a student, I want to recommend to you a short reading list, and that is Alan Dershowitz. You've probably heard of him, but maybe you haven't read anything that he's written. He's a noted defense lawyer. Won't go into much to his background, but he's a champion of freedom, and he is someone that I respect a great deal because he is impartial, that one person deserves the same protection under the Constitution that another person deserves. And Professor Dershowitz, one of his books, he brings a good point up. When the flag burning controversy was ongoing several years ago, a lot of people that called themselves conservatives, they wanted to make burning the flag illegal, something that is certainly unless it's done in the proper disposal of the American flag, something that is a desecration and something that is repugnant to conservatism. At least it is to me. But yet and still, he posed the question. He said, what kind of country would you rather live in? One that you can desecrate the flag of that country, burn it, urinate on it, whatever you want to do, or would you rather live in a country where if you would do something like that, you would be summarily taken out and executed? And at the time, he was using the example of Saddam Hussein's Iraq. This was probably back in the early 80s. And I think that's the question that we have before us, something that's repugnant, but yet and still it's a freedom that we have, that if we have the means and we have if the availability of the property is there and there's no legal prohibition against it, then we can do that under our Constitution, because we do have these freedoms. Now, one thing about freedom in the Constitution, it doesn't prohibit bad taste. It doesn't prohibit someone making a fool of themselves, or someone exhibiting their bias or exhibiting their unpopular viewpoints. Those things are protected by the Constitution. And the question of building a mosque at Ground Zero, if there's no zoning problem with that, if the property is available, if it's for sale, and the seller does want to sell it to someone, and that's what they want to do, and he or she does that with a foreknowledge, if that's the purpose of it, and it's a legal transaction, it's an extremely bad taste. I feel like it's an insult to the American people, especially to those that lost loved ones in the World Trade Towers, And even though it touches them in such a personal way, yet still every American shares in the grief and shares in the loss and shares in the difficulty, the trauma of that attack. It's an extremely bad taste, but yet still, that's freedom. And if they want to build a mosque at ground zero and all those other things are in order, then that's their prerogative to do so, no matter how unpopular it might be. Now, quite possibly there would be something that would prohibit such a thing legally. I don't know if it's been declared to be some sort of a city memorial. If it's public property, then that use would be governed by the city government. And I think what would be difficult to understand would be if that would be the case, if the mayor of New York and the local councilman would clear the way for this and allow that land to be used that way. I think that would be very sad, and I think people in New York, should that be the case, I think that would be the last term that those people would ever serve in the government of New York City. But if it's private property, that's another issue altogether. So we stand for the Constitution, we stand for freedom, we stand for the same rights for everybody, and we love America. Let us know what you think.